ॐ वर्णिवेशरमणीयदर्शनं मन्दहासुरुचिराननाम्बुजं पूजितं सुरनरोत्तरमेर्मुदा धर्मनन्दनम् अहं विचिन्ते। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम Namaskar, dear students. Till now we have revised in the earlier video chapter number 1 and chapter number 2 question answer discussion. Now in this video we are going to discuss the question answer of poem number 1, the road not taken, and poem number 2, it's a wind. Alright, dear students, and later on we'll start discussion about chapter number 3, the little girl, in the next video. So let's go forward for discussing question answer of the both poem. Let's begin, everybody. Poem number 1, The Road Not Taken, by Robert Frost, from Beehive. Dear students, let's begin our discussion, question as a discussion, with thinking about the poem. Number 1, one question. Where does the traveler find himself? What problem does he pass? Answer. The traveler finds himself in the yellow wood at a point where the road forks into two. The problem that he faces is that he cannot decide which road to take to continue his journey, since it is not possible for him to travel both roads at the same time. Obviously, we cannot just travel in both two bus or two boat. Just like over here also, only one path he could choose. Alright, dear students? Okay. Now let's go ahead. Question number 2. Discuss what these phrases mean to you. A yellow wood means a yellow wood symbolizes the autumn season, as autumn corresponds to weathering of the all leaves. The poet could be symbolically talking about the later stages of life of a man. It is mean that old age. It also, second one, it was grassy and wanted wear, means it conveys that the road was full of grassy and less travelled one. The poet personifies the road by saying wanted wear. It could imply the road needed to be explored or travelled, as only very few has done so. Number 3, the passing there. It does mean that this phrase is used with respect to the path he chose to walk, or rather is used as while walking the path. Number 4, leaves no step had trodden black. It does mean that the poet uses this phrase to lay emphasis on the fact that he was unable to decide which path to choose, but the paths seemed the same, as the leaves had not changed their color into black by people walking on them. Figuratively, it could represent a dilemma, what to do, what not to do. Dilemma means dilemma to choose one path over the other for the fear of uncertainty. Number 5, how way leads on to way, means the phrase is used in continuation to the idea that people wanted to return and try the first road for another day. But he soon realizes how one way leads to another until one is very far from where it started. Figuratively, this phrase means how certain decisions one make one makes in life could pave the way for many other decisions. Alright, dear students. Question number 3. Is there any differences between the two roads as the poet describes them? Number 1. In first stanzas 2 and 3. Second one in the last two lines of the poem. Number 1. Answer. In stanza 2, the poet explains that the only difference between the two roads was that the road he took had the right to be chosen, the better claim actually, but it was covered with grass and looked as if it had not been used too much. Besides this difference, both roads had been equally worn down by passers by traveling on them. In the stanza 3, the poet says that both the roads were equally covered with leaves and that no person had stepped on. Second question in the last two lines of the poem. In the last two lines of the poem, the poet says that there is a difference between the two roads because he took the road that was less traveled by other people, and that made all the differences to his journey. Right? Let's go forward. Question number 4. What do you think the last two lines of the poem mean? Looking back, does the poet regret his choice or accept it? Let's discuss, everybody. The last two lines of the poem mean the acceptance of reality. The poet made a choice and accepted the challenging path. He took an unexplored path in his life. He wanted to do something different, so he chooses the less traveled road. He is not disappointed by his decision. For a common man, the phrase reflects the everyday dilemma one must face to make different choices. No matter how the choices tax a man in life, one should not regret about not taking the other path and wondering if the life could have been better than what it is. Alright, dear students. Now, poem number 2, Wind. Thinking about the poem. Question number 1. What are the things the wind does in the first stanza? Answer number 1. In the first stanza, the wind breaks the shutters of windows, scatters the papers, throw down the books from the shelf, tears the pages of the books, and brings showers of rain. There's the answer. Number 2. Have you seen anybody winnow grain at home or in a paddy field? Paddy means rice field. What is the word in your language for winnowing? What do people use for winnowing? Give words in your language if you know them. Answer may be vary. I give you the answer over here. Yes, I have seen many women winnowing grain in villages. Pachorana is a word in my language of winnowing. People use charge or winnowing fan for winnowing purpose. Alright, dear students. Third one, Question number 3. What does the poet say the wind god winnows? Answer. The poet says that the wind god winnows the wick, crumbling houses, doors, rafters, wood bodies, lives and hearts, and then crushes them all. Question number 4. What should we do to make friends with the wind? To make friends with the wind, we need to build strong homes with firm doors. We should also make ourselves physically as well as mentally strong by building strong, firm bodies and having steadfast hearts. Now, question number 5. What do the last 4 lines of the poem mean to you? In the last 4 lines, the poet inspires us to face the wind, which symbolizes the hardships of our lives. Courageously, he tells us that the wind can only extinguish the wick fires. It intensifies the stronger ones. Similarly, adversities deter the weak-hearted but make stronger those who have unfaltering will. In such a cases, befriending the wind or the hardships of life makes it easier for us to face them. Now let's see the question number 6. How does the poet speaks to the wind? In anger or with honor? Or in anger or with humor? You must also have seen or heard of the wind crumbling lives. What is your response to this? Personal response. Is it like the poets? Everybody answer will be vary, but you try a level best to give the answer yourself. This is the ideal answer I am going to give you. The poet speaks to the wind with anger actually. Yes, the strong winds are known to cause plenty of damage and destructions to both life and property. Storms, cyclones, gales, and strong winds cause havoc on land. They uproot trees, bring down houses, tear down electric posts, and claim lives. They also cause damage to boats and frighten the poor sailors and fishermen out at sea. Yes, I do agree with the poet that the wind only crumbles lives. The wind is responsible for bringing rain. It cools the land and makes the climate pleasant. Today, wind energy is harnessed for several useful purposes, including turning windmills, wind turbines, and generating electricity. Alright, dear students. Okay. Let's go forward. Question number 2. The poem you have just read is originally in the Tamil. Do you know any such poem in your language? Answer may be vary. Those who are coming from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, UP or Bihar. Answer may be vary, everybody. Answer. Yes, I have read another poem on wind. It is titled Tufan and was originally written in Hindi by Naresh Agrawal. Alright, dear students. So we'll keep till here. Namaskar and good day.